Have you ever watched someone cry and realized those tears were carrying far more than the pain of a single moment? Sometimes, a person isn't crying because they lost today. They're crying because they finally understand that a chapter they've lived for decades has come to an end. On July 6, 2026, the world watched Cristiano Ronaldo walk off a football pitch with tears in his eyes. Some people saw defeat, some saw the end of a career, others simply saw a 41-year-old footballer who couldn't hold back his emotions after Portugal's 1-0 loss to Spain ended what he had already said would be his final FIFA World Cup. But those tears weren't really about 90 minutes of football. They weren't even about one tournament. They were carrying 25 years of sacrifice, 25 years of pressure, 25 years of dreams, and one dream that remained just beyond his reach. Because when you look at Cristiano Ronaldo today, it's easy to focus on everything he achieved. 5 Ballon d'Or awards, Champions League titles, league trophies in multiple countries, European champion with Portugal, the all-time leading goalscorer in international football, a player who broke records people once believed would never be touched. From the outside, his career looks complete, almost perfect. So why would someone who achieved more than almost anyone else cry after one defeat? Because human beings don't measure life only by what they've achieved. They also remember the dreams that remained unfinished. For Cristiano Ronaldo, that dream had a name. The FIFA World Cup. Long before the money, long before the private jets, long before the global fame, there was a little boy growing up on the island of Madeira. Like millions of children around the world, he imagined one day wearing his country's colors on football's biggest stage. Not because he wanted fame, because representing Portugal meant everything. When he first wore the Portuguese jersey, he wasn't thinking about records. He wasn't thinking about history. He was thinking about making his family proud, making his country proud, and perhaps, one day lifting the one trophy every footballer dreams about. His first World Cup came in 2006. He was young, fearless, full of energy. Portugal reached the semi-finals. The dream felt possible, but football has a strange way of reminding us that talent alone doesn't guarantee happy endings. Years passed. New tournaments arrived. Each World Cup carried fresh hope. Each World Cup ended with another lesson. Sometimes through defeat, sometimes through disappointment, sometimes through heartbreak. Yet Cristiano Ronaldo always returned. Because that's what dreamers do. They keep believing, even when reality keeps telling them to stop. People often ask why elite athletes continue chasing success after they've already won everything. The answer is surprisingly simple. Because some dreams are bigger than trophies. Some dreams begin in childhood, and they stay with you forever. For Ronaldo, the World Cup wasn't just another competition. It was the final piece of a puzzle he'd been building his entire life. Every 4 years, another chance, another opportunity, another reminder that time was moving forward. Athletes understand something most people don't. Their careers have an expiration date. Every tournament could be the last. Every match could be the final opportunity. That reality becomes heavier with age. By 2026, Cristiano Ronaldo knew this World Cup would be his last. Not because he had stopped loving football, but because time eventually asks every athlete the same question. How much longer? At 41 years old, he wasn't competing only against defenders anymore. He was competing against time itself. And time is the only opponent nobody defeats forever. Portugal entered the tournament carrying hope. Ronaldo still believed. His teammates still believed. Millions of Portuguese supporters still believed. The dream was alive, until one evening against Spain. For almost the entire match, everything remained balanced. One moment could change everything. One opportunity, one mistake, one goal. Then, in the closing moments, Spain found the breakthrough. Portugal's World Cup journey was over. Just like that, years of preparation ended in silence. As the final whistle echoed through the stadium, Cristiano Ronaldo stood there, not as a global icon, not as one of the greatest players in history, simply as a man realizing he had played his final World Cup match. And then, the tears came. Millions watched those images. Some people mocked them, others celebrated them, but perhaps many misunderstood them. Those weren't tears of weakness. They were tears of love. Love for a dream that had shaped his entire life. Love for a country he had represented for more than 2 decades. Love for a journey that had finally reached its final page. Because saying goodbye to something you've loved since childhood will always hurt, no matter who you are, no matter how successful you've become. No amount of money can make that goodbye easier. No trophy can prepare your heart for the moment you realize there won't be another chance. Maybe that's why those tears resonated with so many people around the world. Because they weren't only Ronaldo's tears. They belong to anyone who has ever watched a dream slip away. Anyone who has ever given everything and still fallen short. Anyone who has ever had to accept that life doesn't always give us the ending we imagined. And perhaps that is where Cristiano Ronaldo's greatest lesson truly begins. And perhaps that is where Cristiano Ronaldo's greatest lesson truly begins. Because life doesn't always reward effort with victory. Sometimes you can give everything, train harder than anyone else, sacrifice more than anyone else, dream longer than anyone else, and still walk away empty-handed. That truth is difficult to accept. Not only in football, but in life. We grow up believing that hard work always guarantees success. That if we simply refuse to quit, everything will eventually work out. But reality is more complicated. Hard work gives you a chance. It never gives you a promise. Cristiano Ronaldo understood that better than almost anyone. For more than 20 years, he gave football everything he had. Birthdays became training sessions, vacations became recovery periods, comfort became sacrifice. He missed family moments. He pushed his body beyond limits. He played through pain. He carried expectations that most people could never imagine. Not because someone forced him. Because he chose that life. Every decision pointed toward one goal: to become the very best version of himself. And by almost every measure, he succeeded. Millions of children copied his celebrations. Millions wore his number. Millions believed in themselves because they first believed in Cristiano Ronaldo. That kind of influence cannot be measured by statistics. It cannot be counted by trophies. It lives inside people. Yet even after everything, there remained one dream that football never gave him: the World Cup. Some people will always focus on that. They'll say, he never won the World Cup. But perhaps they're asking the wrong question. Because what truly defines a person? The trophy they never lifted? Or the millions of lives they changed along the way? History remembers champions, but humanity remembers people who inspire. And Ronaldo inspired an entire generation. Not simply because he won. Because he showed what relentless commitment looks like. Every setback became another reason to improve. Every criticism became fuel. Every disappointment became another chapter. That is why his story reaches far beyond football. Think about your own life. Maybe your dream isn't a World Cup. Maybe it's building a business, supporting your family, becoming an artist, passing an exam, recovering after failure. Whatever your dream is, there is no guarantee that life will unfold exactly as you imagine. There will be moments when you question everything. Moments when you wonder whether the sacrifice was worth it. Moments when you look at the finish line and realize you may never reach it. Those moments do not erase your journey. They reveal your character. Because success is not only measured by what you receive, it is also measured by who you become while chasing it. Cristiano Ronaldo became disciplined, resilient, fearless, committed, compassionate toward his teammates, a leader for his country. Those qualities exist whether or not a World Cup medal hangs around his neck. And perhaps that is the message hidden inside those tears. He wasn't crying because his career had no meaning. He was crying because something he loved had come to an end. There is a difference. When people truly love something, they allow themselves to feel. There is strength in that. Real strength isn't pretending nothing hurts. Real strength is caring deeply, even when caring means your heart can break. After the final whistle, Ronaldo didn't hide. He acknowledged the moment. He accepted the pain. And eventually, like he always had throughout his career, he would move forward. Because champions don't spend their lives pretending they never fall. They spend their lives learning how to stand again. Maybe not for another World Cup. Maybe not for another record. But because moving forward has become part of who they are. Years from now, fans will debate statistics, goals, awards, records, the greatest player of all time. Those conversations will never truly end. But beyond every debate, there is one truth very few people can deny. Cristiano Ronaldo showed the world what it means to dedicate your entire life to a dream. Even when that dream doesn't end exactly the way you hoped. And perhaps, that is a more powerful legacy than any trophy could ever be. Because trophies belong in museums. But courage lives inside people. And somewhere today, a young boy or girl is chasing a dream that feels impossible. They may fail, they may fall short, they may even cry one day. But if they learn one lesson from Cristiano Ronaldo, let it be this: your worth is not decided by one ending. It is decided by the courage you show throughout the journey. Because sometimes, the greatest victory isn't lifting the trophy. It's becoming the kind of person who never stops giving everything they have. And that is a legacy that no final whistle can ever take away. And that is a legacy that no final whistle can ever take away. Perhaps that's why the image of Cristiano Ronaldo walking off the pitch in tears will be remembered for years to come. Not because it showed weakness, but because it showed humanity. For more than 2 decades, the world saw a machine. A player who scored impossible goals, who broke impossible records, who refused to slow down, who trained harder than almost everyone around him. Sometimes we forgot that beneath the jersey, there was still a human being. A son, a father, a teammate, a man who had spent most of his life carrying the hopes of an entire nation. And even the strongest shoulders eventually become heavy. Those tears reminded us of something we often forget. The people we admire the most still feel disappointment, still experience loss, still struggle with endings, because no amount of success can remove human emotion. If anything, the bigger the dream, the deeper the heartbreak when it ends. But here's what makes Cristiano Ronaldo's story extraordinary. He never allowed heartbreak to erase gratitude. Throughout his career, he spoke about how football had changed his life, how it gave a young boy from Madeira an opportunity that once seemed impossible. It gave him experiences beyond imagination. It allowed him to represent Portugal on the biggest stages in the world. It introduced him to millions of people. It turned a childhood dream into a lifetime of memories. Very few people ever get to live the dream they imagined as children. Cristiano Ronaldo did, even if one final dream remained unfinished. And perhaps, that is another lesson life quietly teaches us. Sometimes we become so focused on what we didn't achieve, that we forget everything we already have. It's natural to mourn the dream that slipped away, but it's equally important to appreciate the journey that brought us there. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't leave football with nothing. He left with memories that most people could never imagine. He left with records that inspired generations. He left with teammates who respected him, opponents who admired him, fans who will tell stories about watching him for the rest of their lives. That is not failure, that is a life fully lived. One day, children who never watched him play live will still hear his name. Parents will tell them about the goals, the celebrations, the incredible dedication, the nights when he refused to accept defeat. And perhaps they'll also tell them about the day he cried, because that day completed the story. It reminded the world that greatness is not about hiding your emotions. Greatness is about giving everything you have, even when you know there are no guarantees. If your dream ends differently than you hoped, it doesn't mean your journey was meaningless. If you fall short of one goal, it doesn't erase every mountain you've already climbed. Life is bigger than one result, one match, one trophy, one ending. The value of your life is found in the effort you gave, the people you inspired, and the person you became along the way. Cristiano Ronaldo became far more than a football player. He became proof that discipline can transform an ordinary beginning into an extraordinary life. He became proof that consistency is stronger than excuses. He became proof that dreams are worth chasing, even if they don't end exactly as we imagined. So perhaps the real question isn't, did Cristiano Ronaldo win the World Cup? The end. Or perhaps, not the end at all. Because the strange thing about true legends is this: their influence doesn't stop when they stop playing. In many ways, it only begins. Years from now, a young boy will wake up before sunrise to train. Not because someone forced him. Because he once watched Cristiano Ronaldo do the same. A young girl will refuse to quit after failing an important exam. Because she remembers a man who lost again and again, yet kept coming back. An athlete recovering from injury will choose one more day of rehabilitation. One more painful session, one more attempt. Because somewhere in the back of their mind, they'll remember Cristiano Ronaldo refusing to surrender. That is how legacies survive. Not through statues, not through museums, but through people. People whose lives quietly change because of an example they once witnessed. Perhaps that's why greatness can never be measured by trophies alone. Because trophies belong to one person. Inspiration belongs to everyone. Think about it. Millions of footballers have played the game. Thousands have lifted trophies. Only a handful have changed the way an entire generation thinks about discipline. Cristiano Ronaldo became one of those people. He made hard work look honorable. He made sacrifice look meaningful. He reminded the world that dreams are not achieved by wishing. They are achieved by showing up. Again, and again, and again. Even on the days when nobody is watching. Even on the days when nothing seems to improve. Even on the days when quitting feels easier than continuing. Maybe that's the real reason people became emotional watching him leave the World Cup. They weren't only saying goodbye to a football player. They were saying goodbye to a chapter of their own lives. Some fans had grown up watching him. Some had watched him with their fathers. others with their children. His career became part of their memories, part of their childhood, part of their own journey. When someone like that walks away, it reminds all of us that time never stops moving. Our heroes grow older, we grow older, life changes, and that's exactly why moments become valuable. Because they never last forever. Perhaps that's the final lesson Cristiano Ronaldo leaves us. Don't wait for the perfect moment to chase your dream. Don't assume there will always be another opportunity. Don't postpone the life you want to build. Because one day, without warning, you'll also hear your own final whistle. Not necessarily in football, but in every chapter of life. School ends, careers change, children grow up, parents grow older, opportunities pass, time keeps moving. The only question is, what will you do with the time you've been given? Cristiano Ronaldo answered that question by giving everything he had. Every sprint, every goal, every training session, every sacrifice. He left nothing behind. And maybe, that's why he was able to walk away with tears in his eyes. Because those tears weren't filled with regret. They were filled with love. Love for the game, love for his country, love for a dream that had shaped his entire life. In the end, perhaps that is enough. Not a perfect ending, but an honest one. Not a story without pain, but a story without excuses. And maybe the greatest victory any of us can hope for is to leave our own journey knowing we gave everything we had. Just as a young boy from Madeira once did. And that is a victory no scoreboard can ever measure.